And now to a story you will only see here on THV 11. Hollywood often mimics real life with a little drama thrown in for good measure.
One Little Rock woman is seeing that play out in a way she never expected. She lives with a very rare disease that's getting new attention thanks to the popular Netflix show Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
But as THV 11's Mikaelyn Johnson shows us, real life and the big screen don't always line up.
AHP is in the family of diseases called porphyrias, a family of diseases where there are basically defective enzymes, either in the red blood cells, in the bloodstream, or the liver.
AHP, or acute hepatic porphyria, is a disease you've probably never heard of. That's because it only impacts around 5,000 people in the U.S. and Europe combined.
I felt very much like an island for a long time.
Megan Parrish of Little Rock is one of those 5,000. Her symptoms and pain starting right as puberty hit.
For me, mental illness and chronic illness are definitely, they're a married couple. Extreme abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting. I had episodes of dizziness, fainting, lots of exploratory surgeries.
Megan struggled in the dark for years, seeing dozens of physicians before her diagnosis.
Sometimes I was, up at the hospital 4 times a week. Sometimes I was admitted inpatient for, a month or more.
And it can be very difficult to make the diagnosis, catch it at just the right time.
Dr. Peter Emanuel with CHI St. Vincent is Megan's current physician and says people who suffer from AHP can deal with a lot of different symptoms.
Liver problems to skin problems, they don't all have that. Depends on which kind of porphyria they have. They'll manifest different ones. Some can't go out in the sun at all. Some end up in the emergency department frequently with severe abdominal pain. Some have a little bit of everything. It widely varies.
Dr. Emanuel says there are also cases of neurological problems, and it's that symptom bringing new attention to the disease, showcased in the popular show Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story on Netflix. In the show, you see King George struggle with severe confusion, agitation, and memory loss.
Venus is here. George.
Which Megan can attest does happen for AHP patients.
There are aspects of it that are just a little exaggerated. There's definitely AHP patients, me included, that have experienced agitation and confusion and anxiety, but maybe not to the extent that it's been portrayed on TV.
Megan says the dramatization doesn't bother her. It's actually helping bring new awareness to AHP.
That's what makes good TV. People outside of the community are talking about it now.
Even though it's only assumed King George suffered from the disease way back in the 1700s, Dr. Emanuel says there's still been little movement in AHP diagnosis or treatment.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of research going on it because they're very, very rare diseases. And so there's some new developments in terms of therapies, but we still don't know what causes it by any means.
But Megan says the hope for advancement keeps her going.
Trying to shorten up the diagnosis process, because an average patient is 15 years to diagnosis. So the 6 years that it took me is actually, that's a fraction of what the average is. I consider myself lucky. I think there's a lot of hope for the future of porphyria.
And as for her future, Megan never pictured her journey would look like this.
She's had a lessening of her symptoms and attacks. Is that due to age? Is that due to her knowing the triggers? Probably all of the above.
It was so out of control for so long, and I think that, that's how a lot of other patients feel. You just feel so trapped. Then when you get these little moments of where you're feeling good, you just want to do it all. Make up for all the lost time. So that's what I've just been doing, is making up for all the lost time.
In Little Rock, Mikaelyn Johnson, THV 11 News.
And Dr. Emanuel adds that most doctors don't have these types of diseases on their radar since they're so rare.
We'll post more information about the symptoms and helpful links in this story on our website, thv11.com.